Dynasty? Hey, it's not the worst map to start on. So I believe they played on either Friday or Saturday, but once more I obviously do not know the score. In the top right side, guys, we're looking at the main base of the man who's going to be playing in the grand finals tonight of the American Spring Regionals. It is Trigger. Bottom left side, you're looking at the main base of the reigning world champion of Starcraft 2, Oliveira. No interview because we have the second match and we have the regionals and Trigger is not here, so we don't do interview, Reynor. But don't go anywhere. We might need you. Come on. we might need you. Don't you go anywhere, mate. We're not sending out Roddy for the ace match. Showtime might be fuming. Trigger is still asleep. If you're gone, we're gonna have to send out me. Like, we don't want that. We need a 2-0 for Trigger to go to an ace match. If Oliveira wins just a single map, then this clan war is unfortunately over. Serral to the rescue. Unfortunately, Yona's not available today. But he will be available soon. We'll get some Yona, guys. Oliveira checking to see if Trigger has expanded quickly at the gold, but that has not happened. I like that pylon, by the way. High ground pylon for a low ground cybernetics core. Makes it impossible for the Reaper to hop in. The only downside of this cyber core is that I do feel like you're likely to end up being in a very awkward spot where you potentially lose it. We definitely miss Yona, but I think that would go for every team, right? I cannot think of a single team out there that could have Yona, and then if Yona is not available, that won't miss him. First adept leaves town right when the Reaper shows up. Second adept is close to popping, not quite out yet. Trigger absolutely in danger of losing a worker here. Ah, the micro is good, very good worker micro. Very good worker micro, and this Reaper could actually be stuck. If we get one more shot off, then I think when the shade finishes up, we can kill it. We did not get one more shot off. How much can this adept see on the other side of the map? I'd love to see Trigger's vision. I don't know if they're going to show us. Alright, that's nice. Let's the shade finish up to the gold, and I do believe that adept can see that the base is there. This Reaper is now stuck. And now we get it!
First blood.
Good defense by Trigger. Not losing a single worker there is actually pretty impressive. We can always use Serral. We can use all 5 players on the roster. If you guys want to consider me as a player, we can use all 5 whenever we want at any given moment. And you can also send somebody out as the ace that was not one of the original 3 players. So you can do whatever you want in WTL in that regard, as long as somebody is officially a part of the team. Trigger finds an SCV, might get a second one. Unfortunately, not yet. There is another clan war after this, guys, but as soon as Europe starts today, and Europe starts at 4, I will be switching over and I'll be co-streaming Europe. So, just gonna watch this clan war for now, but by the time that Europe starts, I will be watching Europe. TVT for us, but hey, that TVT in the upper bracket between Spirit and Clem. One of the highlights for me across all 3 regionals. Such a sick series, such a sick game 5. Sad result obviously for Reynor, because that meant he had to play against Clem in the lower bracket, but for Spirit that was an amazing moment. The tank of Oliveira is moving a little as he is worried about these stalkers getting in range, potentially blinking across it, but that's way too many Marines, the Cyclone and Marauder to blink across. At this point, Trigger is just kind of using this as some sort of a soft contain, as an annoying spot. We haven't gone up to 3 bases yet. I would kind of like to see Trigger maybe fire up charge and go up to 3 bases though. We're not going to blink across this, right? Please tell me that we're not going to blink across this, as the War Prism and the Observer are just piss chilling at home. Kind of odd. It's a lot of damage on the Stalkers, but I don't think we've lost too many. Decent amount of those SCVs are better than Brewers, but there's not a whole lot you can do about it. I feel like Trigger just queued up the Nexus because he was floating a lot of minerals and he just went down minus 400. Let's get charged and then forge or something, or a Robo Bay. There is our third Nexus, but 4 more Stalkers have also been warped in. As Trigger is now going to try his luck at the front, we'll be able to get that first depot incredibly easy. He's going to get the second depot as well. That's actually going to severely supply block Oliveira for quite some time. That's nice. I am a tiny bit concerned though that at this point Oliveira's army is looking a whole lot more powerful than Trigger's army, as that Warp Prism is exposed. Cyclone lock-on deals a lot of damage, does not kill it. Charge is now on the way, but it's going to take such a long time, so we're going to have to battle a lot of stim bio with just Stalkers. And I don't really like where this is going. Trigger is playing a dangerous game here, man, because these Marauders have concussive shells, they can stim forward, and every single time they get a few shots up, they almost guarantee themselves a kill on these Stalkers. Good enough micro in the end to at least give Oliveira the idea that running to the other side of the map right now is the wrong idea. And maybe it would be. Oli is just waiting for a few more buy units to show up, another medevac or two to join the ranks. Pocket expand of Oliveira is still safe, so he's been enjoying that gold mineral base for quite some time. Scary game. I don't really like it because I feel like we're incredibly Stalker heavy, and Oliveira just has a good army against Stalkers. No, Stalkers are units that always have some potential. Trigger has an observer on top of all these 3 medevacs. Oliveira, I think, saw it because he turned around for a split second. Yeah, now he's going to completely turn around. He will drop the scan, pick up the ups. But that's okay. At least Trigger at this point has charged. He's a 3-base Protoss. Oliveira is about to become a 3-base Terran himself, as that Ghost Academy has finished up as well. Trigger thinks that this is a fight that he can take. We don't have a Guardian Shield though. We don't have too many Zealots. I'm surprised that Trigger is moving out, guys. I don't think his army is that powerful. He seems to think that it is. Alright. Maybe we just go for some multi-prong, Warp Prism on top of that tank, or he's just gonna go for the main. Actually kind of smart, I think, to maybe avoid this pocket expand and just go for the main. You know there is a bunker there, you know there is a tank there. Oliveira is gonna stim a couple of units back immediately. Trigger. Alright, that's a lot of Zealots now in the main base. Oliveira is definitely going to need a few more units. Does have a Ghost popping. Ghosts are incredibly useful. At the same time, Trigger thinks about running into the natural. We blink forward, snipe a medevac. Would have been nice if we could split off 2 Zealots into the mineral line, no? In the natural. I feel like 2 Zealots just going to the top left side of the orbiter, getting on top of the SCVs there. That would have been awesome. It's important that Trigger doesn't overstay his welcome here. Gets EMP, the Immortal gets stacked, and the Immortal will get gunned down. Oliveira is sitting at 1100 minerals. It's not something you see very often. Trigger doing a better job in spending his resources. It's finding good damage, but it's not crazy damage yet. Finds a few more. He's gonna pick up 4 Zealots. The other Zealots will probably just get picked up. Unless he decides to recall them. We've got a Colossus on the production tab. Maybe a second Robo would be awesome in a game like this. As the Zealots now find that tank too. And this Warp Prism play is actually pretty damn good, eh? The Warp Prism play is quite sexy. And the Trigger is not slowing down as he's warped in a few more Zealots. Oliveira is doing his best to kite. Stalk is now running deep into the natural expand of Oliveira. In this game it's the third. Minus 20 SCVs and EMP does land a second EMP even. Second EMP does not deal any damage. It's starting to look really good, but I don't want to celebrate yet. We did that earlier today and that didn't work out very well. But I think it's an impressive game by Trigger. Extended Thermal Lens is about to finish up. Last season, these two also played against each other in WTL Codes, and back then Trigger won 2-0. Trigger is PVT, it's just crack, man. Those games that he played against Kalazur, not yesterday but the day before, I thought that was an incredibly impressive display of skill. Because Diego is good, he's scary. And Trigger was just all over him. It's funny how Trigger just starts playing better and better throughout the playoffs in NA. I don't even think he has a single tank anymore, mate. I think that tank died to the Zealots. He is working on Vikings, Oliveira that is, but now we've got a couple sentries in the mix as well. We can activate a Guardian Shield and the Colossus can just poke from afar. The Viking count isn't really there yet. First force field, not bad. We're gonna get a ghost here perhaps. Minus 25 SCVs. Oliveira seems to think that he can actually go forward, run into this Protoss army. A few more Zealots show up, so that is not going to be the play. Meanwhile, Trigger's army supply is starting to look healthier and healthier. And he's getting upgrades, and he's going up to 5 bases, and we're getting a second fort, and a Dark Shrine. I mean, what's not to love over here for our Canadian Protoss? As the scan goes down, the Observer does fall. One of the Stalkers takes some damage. War Prism trying to do its thing. It's important that we don't lose our Colossus here for nothing. The second Colossus does fall, the War Prism falls, but I think it's okay. Trigger is so rich. He has killed 50 SCVs, guys. I think the gold minerals have been mined out, so Zealots were just able to walk in. Or he just killed every single SCV here on the low ground. Oliveira down to 30 SCVs. You know, Canadian Protoss is once more playing an incredibly good PvT on Dynasty. What do you guys think Foxer feels about Dynasty? You guys think Foxer would say that this is an alright Terran map? And it's really impressive what Trigger is doing. Dark Shrine online now as well. I think you can just click the DTs into the OG pocket expand because yeah, the gold minerals are mined out. What used to be a wall is no longer a wall, and we don't even need Shadow Strike to get to the other side. I don't want to... Oh, we have a missile turret there. I was like, what? There's a missile turret next to the refinery. It was well hidden. Well, one DT does still make it into the main base. There is a ghost in the mix that can drop an EMP. That's exactly what Oliveira does. This base is about to become a planetary, but Trigger blinks forward, gets underneath the 2 Vikings. That's awesome. And Oliveira just had enough of it as a few Zealots stormed into the pocket expand. Man, just like last season. Trigger takes the 1-0 lead and we are gaming. Man, imagine if he would have won this 2-0. That'd be so sick. That'd actually be very, very sick. Now Oliveira can pick any map that he can think of. I wonder if he picked Side Delta just to prove a point to Foxer. Nope. Oliveira is gonna pick Post Youth, just how Reynor picked Post Youth. Oliveira is gonna pick it too. Did I see Max Pax take the rich gas gold in PvT? Yeah, I've seen him do it twice now, and I've seen him win with it twice. Yeah, I like it. I think if you play double battery, it makes sense. Alright, could be the final game, but if Trigger managed to win this game 24 or 48 hours ago, whenever the hell they played, it means that we are still going to an ace match, and that would be fantastic. I'd be so happy. Top right side, it is the world champion of Starcraft 2, Dragon KaiZi Gaming Oliveira. In the bottom left side, we are looking at the main base of the man that's representing Basilisk. We'll be playing in the grand finals tonight, our Canadian Protoss, Trigger. What a turn of events yesterday, eh? Down 0-2 against a Scarlet who was just completely destroying and dominating the region, winning 13 maps in a row. And Trigger just flips the switch and wins 3 games. 2 games with a Blink Stalker all in. Amphion and Gulls River. Such a crazy best of 5. Tonight is a very big night for him. It's of course a lot of prize money that's on the line. He's already top 2, so I think that's almost the most important thing. But Trigger has never won the American region. Scarlet has won it a couple of times in the past. Neeb has won it. Australia has won it. Tonight could be a first for Trigger. His maiden win. Let's say hopefully it's the first of many, but it will be hard. Whoever wins in that lower bracket, whether it's Australia or Scarlet, it is going to be incredibly difficult, but he's playing so well. It'll be such a cool story. Trigger lives in Canada. He lives near Toronto. Not quite in Toronto, but in the proximity of Toronto. And don't ask me which direction, I don't know that part. Oliveira going for a quick factory. We already have a reactor on the way as well. There is an... What is happening on the top left, guys? Uh-oh. Is this a proxy starport? Is this going to be a Hellion drop? What server are they playing on? Probably US West. I believe they play on US West here. No, I don't think it's gonna send a bunch of probes to the other side of the map. A confirmation scout here, by the way, would be fantastic. I think the moment that triggers Adept, makes it up that ramp, the alarm bells need to go off a little bit. Because it's very easy to wall off on Pulse Youth. So why would Oliveira make a couple Hellions early on a map where it's so easy to wall off? That basically has to be because he has a proxy starboard, and that means that he's going for a Hellion drop. Unfortunately, we haven't quite confirmed the Hellions yet, but now we see the first two Hellions being clicked down this ramp. At this point, Trigger knows. Even when you know, that doesn't mean you're not going to take any damage. I think he's going to look for that starport now at least. And then get all the units at home. You need your hands on every single little bit of DPS that you can find. So even adepts are going to be incredibly important in the defense here. West for first, Taiwan for second. Okay. Meanwhile, Trigger going for a quick Dark Shrine, by the way. That's actually kind of a cool idea against a man who's going for proxy starport. Because that means they don't have a tech lab, that means they don't have a Raven. It is incredibly likely to get scouted though. Because these Hellions are obviously going to find their way into the main base. That Adept needs to turn around. Like, we can lose 6 probes or something here and then we're going to be okay. But we don't have a shield battery and now I'm afraid we're going to lose a whole lot more. There is a bit of a Sim City, but... Okay, that's awkward. Oh, the probes are so clumped up and there is no shield battery. Will the Hellions go for it? No, they don't go for it. And there's a War Prism here. Oh, what a pickup, baby. There is a War Prism here and that War Prism just picked up like 6 probes. That's awesome. Actually awesome. Incredibly good defense, man. For a man who had no shield batteries, that is incredibly good. Only losing 2 workers. Whew. But we're not done yet. We are not done yet. Hellions are still around. And the second wave is just as scary as the first. Here come those Hellion Stalkers. Are close. Two DTs get warped in on the other side of the map, but obviously we have missile turrets coming online now, and I'm afraid that these DTs will not be too impactful here. Ah, please don't do that. So apparently game 2, oh jeez, oh jeez. Okay, that was kind of scary. And now the Hellions show up for round 2, and they're gonna get 6 probes, make it 7, make it 8, and that is a problem. Oh no. The initial defense was so freaking good. Unfortunately, the second wave of it is not, and Trigger will just wave the white flag. The DTs did not find any damage, lost one of them, loses 10 probes to the Hellions. And apparently that was it. And that means that this is the end of the clan war. Dragon KaiZi Gaming gets a 4-2 victory over Basilisk plus a Showtime. And yeah, Jaishi was their MVP. It was, and it started off so good for us. It's kind of sad. GG's. GG's. All 3 points go to DKZ. We are still stuck with just a single point after 2 playdays. Obviously, we'll keep on fighting. It's still a long season. There are 9 more playdays to go. There is a second clan war, guys. Storm Navi versus Berserker Esports. I can stick around and watch like 1 game or something, but after that, I will swap over to Europe. I want to do co-streaming for the European regionals. 25% of y'all believed in a draw, and it was a draw. I mean, good performance by Trigger. Just unlucky that the PvP didn't go our way. Kudos to Jaishi, kudos to DKZ. Perhaps we'll see them again in the playoffs, guys. Go back a little bit. I don't know, by the way, guys, if Trigger forgot Blink or if that was just a part of the build order because he wanted a quick Dark Shrine. But I think the reason he left, I didn't want to say this live because it was like maybe I'm an idiot and I just missed it, but Trigger never got Blink. Twilight Council finished up and he just made a Dark Shrine, but we never got Blink, so maybe that's the reason he left. He's a 3-base Protoss that is 8 workers down and only has DT tech. He does not have Blink Stalkers to slow the game down. You could go Zealot Charge first, obviously, but then you're going to take a lot more damage from any additional drops. Maybe the ping was really balanced for Trigger and he just kind of gambled that the DTs would be awesome or that he wouldn't take any damage himself. But yeah, don't forget that when he left, he also had no Blink. Will ESL release a replay pack? Yeah, they probably will. I want to take a quick look at who we play next. World Team League. I have a tiny headache, by the way. I played some Padel this morning and the sun was shining. I feel like that's kicking my ass, so I'm going to take some paracetamol. Play day 3. We play Mystery Gaming. Take a look at that lineup. Next week we play Mystery Gaming. Alright. I think that's where we start winning, guys. Obviously we planned on starting to win at play day 1, but it wasn't meant to be, so. Play day 3. That's where we'll start winning. Try again next week. What day is that? Matchy. Next week we play on the Sunday again. So on the 12th of May, our journey in WTL Codex will continue. That's when we're gonna duke it out with Mystery Gaming. And perhaps you guys will see some Serral there. Perhaps the great Yona Sutala will be making an appearance. If it's not play day 3, it could be 4 or 5 or 6. I'm excited to see Yona play some games for us.